Hi, and welcome back to the Leeds Beckett Sport Podcast with your host, Kill Smith. Today I'll be deep diving into a very interesting and largely unspoken topic in sports media, and that is ageism. Despite the average age of the top 100 footballers in the world being increasing at a pace of 0.34 years per season in the mid 2000s, according to a study by Frontiers, it's not a stretch to say that the fascination with an athlete's age and whether they can still perform to the highest level is being scrutinised on a more regular basis. Cristiano Ronaldo has been a household name for the best part of 2 decades, and is largely considered one of the best of his generation and of all time in football. This doesn't stop disrespectful and what would some would consider offensive articles being published about the Portuguese forward, as he has entered his 30s, with a 2021 Guardian piece labelling him as an ageing Portuguese show pony, as well as an ageing egomaniac. This came after a 36-year-old Ronaldo scored 37 times in 45 games for Juventus in the 2020-21 season. Butler 1980 describes ageism as something that can be broken down into three sections: stereotyping, prejudice, and discrimination because of someone's age. Do you think that Butler's theory applies to the Guardian article? Media centering on Ronaldo's age isn't limited to just European news outlets. A Forbes article from 2022 appeared to heap blame on Ronaldo in a game between Manchester United and Aston Villa, as he gave away a free kick while being 3-1 down in the 88th minute, referring to him as past his prime and beginning to look his age. Again, this was despite Ronaldo scoring 27 times in 45 games against 2 seasons in Manchester. Many North American media outlets also run with a narrative that once a player passes the magic 30 mark, they curdle like milk, as a 2015 Vice article described LeBron James as he approached his 31st birthday. This, in my opinion, is like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, as while on the whole, most players do see a dip in stats and have to alter the way they play due to their body not being able to do what it used to, or having to move to a less competitive or lower ranked league. This is especially true of players like LeBron, who are simple freaks of nature and whose stats haven't dropped off. According to ESPN, who have tracked LeBron James' stats since he entered the league in 2003, LeBron averaged more points per game across the 2022-23 season with 28.9 than he did arguably in his prime with the Miami Heat in 2012-2013 with 26.8. Starks, Weir and Young, 2003, concluded that prolonged training by master athletes plays a critical role in the maintenance of athletic performance, even in the face of predicted age-related decline. This is an interesting concept, as it appears that consistent high-level training and competition can help maintain sporting levels like LeBron and James Harden, for example. It does seem, however, that media-directed ageism isn't limited to athletes who compete years past the average retirement age. This trend has only become more prevalent, especially in football. The controversial import of players to leagues like Saudi Arabia's Pro League isn't a new concept, but it grabbed all the headlines, especially from Western media outlets in 2023, when two Ballon d'Or winners, Benzema and Ronaldo, moved to the league. It wasn't these two that media criticised and made negative comments about regarding their age. Ruben Neves was arguably on the end of the most criticism, mainly around his age when he moved from Wolves to Al Hilal in the summer of 2023. Football 365, which is part of the English media group Planet Sport, made reference to Neves' age multiple times throughout the article. For example, Neves is only 26 in one of the statements made in the article that suggests a move elsewhere would have been better for the Portuguese midfielder. But why does Neves' age matter? Understandably, a football-focused outlet like Football 365, like many football fans around the world, would rather have a very good footballer playing in the top 5 leagues in the world and play European football. But why should his age stop him from obtaining generational wealth in Saudi while still continuing his football career? Older players like Kante and the goalkeeper Ospina didn't receive anywhere near the negative attention despite being on similar wages in Asia. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Saudi Arabia-based newspaper, the Saudi Gazette, decided to go with a headline labelling Neves' move as one for his family in mind, and later goes on using quotes from 26-year-old about the project Al Hilal offered him and his excitement to play in the league in front of the fans. Are outlets creating a valid argument about older athletes overstaying their welcome at teams, excluding younger players from getting a chance to further their careers, or are they unfairly judging and in turn being ageist by using language like ageing and curdling like milk to describe players who want to continue their playing career at the highest level? It could be said that such articles are made to draw in viewership. As sports fans, isn't it what we want to see when we have athletes that we've watched for a decade or two, in the cases of players like Buffon and Michael Jordan? Surely some media outlets are unfairly harsh in the describing of such players, even when the majority of players retire in their early 30s or even before, like Eric Cantona. But what do you guys think? Are newspapers demonising and forcing players to move and rethink their careers just because they get past a certain age? And should said organisations take a leaf out of outlets like the Saudi Gazette, who mainly post positive articles about players who were controversial in Europe because of their age-related move? Let me know down in the comments of this video, or you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Tune in next week for another video from Leeds Beckett Sport Podcast. I've been your host, Kill Smith. Thanks again for watching.